What is going on, guys? Jay Kraft here, Facebook group all around Pickers Lounge. I'm coming at you today to talk to you about the current coronavirus situation. I understand that I'm not typically the person to come and talk to you about more global issues, but I felt, given the fact that we are resellers and that a lot of the work that we do is based on meeting people and interacting and being in public, that it was important to give people a bit of a broader scope as far as the impact that this is going to have on your life, and my life, and our life as resellers. I feel it's almost my duty to talk with you about my personal feelings and belief regarding the coronavirus and the direction that it's going now. I understand for some people you're going to look at this and you'll be like, Jay, I don't care, whatever. And for that, that's fine. Please go watch one of my other videos. We put out a bunch of great yard sailing videos. Last week's Sunday Reseller Roundup was a great one. But if you don't want to hear about that today and you don't want your day to be a little bit somber, no hard feelings. This is something that I'm actually going to be talking about for quite a few days as things start to ramp up a little bit more. With this, it's important to note this is not a cash grab by any means. I don't get paid for coronavirus videos. They're going to get demonetized by YouTube instantly. And we talked about on Sunday during Reseller Roundup last week, and we talked about for maybe about 20 minutes, and I asked people, do you want to hear more information from me regarding my thoughts on it and how I feel it's going to affect everyday resellers? Like I said, we interact with the public. We are out there on the front lines, swap meets, yard sales, thrift stores, you name it. We're touching products and we're touching people. I don't feel, as of right now, that enough people truly understand how it is going to disproportionately and negatively impact our lives as Americans if we end up in a situation like we're seeing in China, South Korea, or Italy, for instance. Just yesterday, Trump had talked about offering credits to those who are paying taxes, like their taxes for traditional employees, and they're talking about offering credits to those who are, receiving like their hourly wages and such, to be able to help these people get by and to be able to help them get along. And it's just mind-blowing to hear the government talk in such a capacity, and not to mention the actual loss of life situations that are going to be occurring as well for people particularly over the age of 60, but truly the people over the age of 80. And if you're hearing this for the first time and you don't know, the mortality rate is about 15% for people over the age of 80 who contract it. And a lot of people, like myself, believe that this is going to scale to a point where we will see significant disruptions within our lives and the way that we're doing business right now. There are a handful of countries now that are in quarantine situations. I don't want to come here and sound like someone who's fear-mongering or take a firm stance in one way or the other. But what I am saying is that as things start to progress, the way that I operate my business is going to be fundamentally different on a day-by-day basis. Even if we aren't in a quarantine situation, I am currently now adjusting the way that I do my business. And it's important to do so. And I want to share with you the things that I'm going to be doing. I'm not saying that you should do them yourself. Some of them I will say that about. But for the most part, I want you to know what I'm doing and why I feel you should really consider doing it too, because I don't think I give out bad advice or we wouldn't be having this talk now. The first thing I'm doing right now is I am ramping up my buying. And I want to be clear too. I'm ramping up my buying on items that I have historically been buying, the types of items, and I'm scaling it up. I'm not willing to pay any more to get my inventory, and I'm not telling people to rush out and get inventory. But as we go through the year, we talk about seasonality of buying and selling patterns. There's going to be certain times to focus on buying and certain times to focus on selling. Through the holidays, for instance, okay? If you're coming into the beginning of December and you have 10,000 pieces that aren't listed right at that point, you probably shouldn't go out and buy more stuff. And we're talking about this seasonality. Right now, we're coming into a horrific virus season. And with that, now is not the time for me to be listing items. Now is the time for me to be getting as many items as I possibly can for great prices that I can list in the event that we end up in a quarantine situation. I want to make sure that I have, at a minimum, 2 weeks worth of work that I can do here from the house. And I understand that each person's financial situation is going to be different. It's important that you do not obviously drain your bank account to go out and be doing a whole ton of buying. Keep buying at the pace that you buy, but try and get a little bit more in. Try and hit a couple extra thrift stores. Try and get extra inventory that you can throw on the back burner. Maybe go after projects you wouldn't normally go after. A box of 200 magazines you wouldn't want to touch, 200 records, board games that require lots of counting, that type of piecework that's going to eat up a lot of this time during a potential situation like that. And here's the thing about it too. If you buy up a ton of inventory right now, it's not going to displace your business if something happens. Okay? Because a lot of the talk that I hear talking about prepping and getting prepared, which I have a lot I want to speak on that as well, and we may be getting into that over the next few days. No one's really taken the time, as far as I've heard, to talk about what resellers can do to prepare themselves and their business. So right now, I'm telling everyone, buy as much as you can, and buy early and buy often. As we start progressing further, we're going to talk about how you can ensure that you're still able to get your packages out during a quarantine situation, and when the right time to be able to start scheduling those pickups, okay? Because that time is going to come, okay? And rather than having to pay for your pickups, because they do charge if you have a business account, we're going to talk about free ways of scheduling those pickups and how many of those pickups you should schedule. We're going to talk about handling time and changes that you might need to make there, and the implications of quarantine situations on your business as a whole. We're also going to talk about diversification of inventory over the next week as well, and how it might be time to start looking into different categories that you may have overlooked before. We're talking about things like DVD lots, puzzles, board games, book lots, stuff that people are able to enjoy at home that don't require electricity for the most part. Obviously DVDs do, but books and puzzles and board games and stuff like that, those are really, really good items. And we're also going to talk about items that you're allowed to actually list on eBay that would qualify as things that are very similar to masks and sanitizers and other types of items. But there's a lot that I want to cover and a lot I want to talk about. But to hammer this point home again, I'm buying actively. I have those postal bins. I probably have about 10 of them full to the brim right now, and I haven't shown them on air. And normally I do my pickups every Sunday, and I'll do my pickups videos every once a week now is what I'm aiming for. I haven't shown them on air yet, but I have a ton of inventory, almost literally a ton of inventory ready to rock and roll. This is also going to be the time that you're going to want to start ordering supplies for that backstock inventory that you have. And this is very, very important. So we're talking things like batteries and chargers and accessories and whatever little bits you have for your B-stock inventory, you want to start ordering that stuff. That way you can have it in, you'll be able to work that inventory in the event that we get to a place like that. And the big portion, what we're going to be talking about at the very, very end of this, in probably about 2 to 3 weeks' time, as things progress. I really don't want to jump the gun on this, but we're going to be talking about how you can continue to stay cash flow positive without walking through your front door, and different means of being able to acquire inventory. And we're not just talking OA, okay? I just want to be very clear about that. We're talking about sourcing within your area without leaving your house, and how you can successfully go about that, how you can make safe transactions with people and be able to get inventory in from the comfort of your own home. So with that in mind, guys, I'm going to ask that you stay with me through this. We're going to have our fun and our exciting videos and our out in the field videos. We're going to have plenty of those to come. I have a very small audience. I got maybe 200, 300, 400 of you right now. If I can help even one of you get prepared for this, or at least share with you my plan moving forward, that's going to make me happy. So I hope that you drew value from this. Click the little notification bell next to the subscribe button, and it'll let you know whenever we put out a new video. Probably tomorrow morning you're going to see another one on this topic again. But thanks for tuning in, guys. Remember, if you don't make that money, someone else will. And wash your damn hands, okay? Some people are disgusting. I don't know the problem with some people who can go out for 4 or 5 hours, come home, and then eat a sandwich without washing your hands. Wash your hands, people. Please. Have a great day.